Hi, welcome back to Tori Life, my channel. This is a new segment I'm starting called Let's Talk. And in each episode, each video, I'm going to be talking about something different, and it's going to be just about any topic, a relevant topic, something that is personal to me, something that I thought of. This Let's Talk is going to be about triggers. And a lot of people, especially in today's world, when they hear trigger or you triggered me, they more think of an annoyance or something getting somebody really angry, like that triggered me to get angry, right? But triggers and being triggered is something that I don't think is taken very seriously by many people. And it's really sad that a lot of people don't understand what exactly a trigger is and, how to take them more seriously. So that's what we're going to be talking about today for this Let's Talk. So let's get into it, and I hope you enjoy the video. So, triggers. What exactly is a trigger? Well, to understand a trigger, you have to understand sort of other things surrounding it, like triggers can happen to anyone with trauma, PTSD, CPTSD. Triggers basically mean that some sound, some noise, anything, it could be anything, any little tiny thing could cause you to get triggered. And when that happens, it isn't just, oh, that made me angry. It could be many things. It could cause that person to have a flashback, whether it's an emotional or a flashback with like a picture in their head or a memory. It triggers sort of a memory, physical or mental, of a past traumatic event in their life. Big, small, anything, it doesn't matter. And it can be very damaging to the person experiencing it mentally and physically. Triggers can cause many different experiences. They can, cause the, fight or flight sort of thing. It can make you angry. It can make you, you could just start crying. It could make you freeze. It could cause you to dissociate, like disassociation, which basically sort of means that, I can't really explain it super well, but I experience it a lot, where you kind of feel disconnected from reality. You might see things in third person from another point of view, like you're watching a movie. You could not feel yourself or recognize yourself or feel emotions. Sometimes, you have derealization and depersonalization, which those are basically similar. They're not exactly the same thing, but they're similar. Yeah, there's a lot of things that can happen to a person mentally and physically when they get triggered. And it is important that when a person says, this triggers me, that you respect that and you understand that it is serious for them and that it hurts them. Many people don't respect that boundary because they don't take triggers seriously enough. They don't take that seriously enough. And it's important that they do, because you have to understand traumatic events, right? You understand that traumatic events are bad. They are very traumatic, obviously, because they're traumatic events and they hurt a person. Triggers can trigger feelings or memories of that traumatic event, and it feels like you're back in it almost in many different ways, whether you notice it or not. Sometimes people might not even notice that they get triggered, but they do. And so if somebody brings it up to you or talks to you about it, you have to know that it is serious, and you need to take them seriously and recognize certain things. And yes, when a person online says, that triggered me or whatever, sometimes they could mean it in the slang way where, like, oh, that triggered me and made me angry, whatever. But it is important to know the difference and to recognize that and to take people seriously. Even if you might not think it's serious, you should always take it seriously, because wouldn't you rather take it seriously and then have it be a joke? Or would you rather treat it as a joke and then it turn out to be serious? Especially if they're your friends or your family, you have to respect that and honor that and recognize that. And, when they get triggered, it's important that they know that you're there for them and that you understand. And if they need space, give them space. And sometimes when people are triggered, they might not be able to talk. They might not be able to, just kind of be in a position to say, hey, I need this or this. You should always respect someone's space, their boundaries, and if they talk to you about triggers and stuff, maybe ask them, if you are to get triggered by something and I'm here, what do you need from me? Being there for them in any way and respecting someone's boundaries and their feelings and validating them and letting them know that you're there for them is important. Many people don't understand triggers. They don't. Even people who get triggered don't necessarily understand triggers sometimes. It can take a long journey to reach a point where they even know they're getting triggered or they know what they're getting triggered by. It's a journey, and you have to respect that every step of the way if you are in their life. And for people who do get triggered and who understand everything I'm saying, you know that it's individual, that not every case is the same. Not everyone who gets triggered is going to react or feel the same way, because we've all been through different traumatic experiences. And it is very important to respect them, to respect those people in your life and believe them. Take them seriously, because triggers have big effects on a person. Big effects on a person. It can cause them to act irrationally, and it's not their fault. It's a response. It's not something that you think about. It's in that moment. It's a reactionary response to your environment. And, you have to take that seriously and recognize that, Okay, so for people wondering, thinking to themselves, do I get triggered? Right? Like, if you're wondering, if you're asking me, like, how do I know if I'm getting triggered by something or something like that? First of all, I am not a therapist. I'm not licensed. I can't say for certain whether anyone is getting triggered by something, but I can help you maybe to understand it a little more so you can understand if something is triggering you. So for me, it's more so, again, sometimes people, when they're triggered, they don't have that self-awareness. Sometimes afterwards, you might be able to put pieces together and be like, hey, I felt this like 10 minutes ago. It just really depends on the awareness and the recognition and sort of all that stuff, which it's okay if you don't have, because again, things work differently for everybody. So let's say somebody's talking about something and, you know, all of a sudden you get into this state where you're maybe frozen, or you feel like, you know, you're shutting down, or you just feel the urge to, like, I don't know, blast music into your ears so you can't hear anything anymore, or you feel suddenly like you're floating away from your body, or you feel disconnected, or you feel, you know, angry, or you get a flashback, or you get an emotional flashback where your body sort of, you have all those emotions and feelings in your body that you did from a past traumatic event, then that conversation that you overheard is very much connected to what happened to you. You know, those feelings and experiences. That's how you know when you're getting triggered, is that you have, you know, something's going on, you see a color, you smell a certain cologne or perfume, you hear a word, it could be anything, but it's important to maybe try to connect the pattern and say, okay, when someone was talking about this specific thing, that turned into this, and that happened. And, you know, again, you might not completely understand or have that recognition, and it's okay. If you are struggling and you need help and you're not understanding things, you could try getting a therapist, try talking to a healthcare provider, maybe going on BetterHelp or something like that. And I know in today's world, you know, it's hard to pay for a therapist or to pay for those services. It is very difficult. If you cannot do any of those things, like talk to a healthcare professional or a therapist or someone, then I would recommend trying to find a community online who understands what, you know, who you can talk to, like maybe going on a subreddit on Reddit for people with PTSD or trauma, and hopefully finding something you can relate to and sharing your story or part of it as much as you want, or, you know, going on a support group online, signing up for a free support group. There's a lot of free community services online where it can help you feel less alone. They can give you tips, advice, you know, you can share your story, talk about things, you know, whatever you feel comfortable with. That is an alternative to having to pay for a healthcare medical professional. But if you can pay for one, it is important to do that. If you think you are experiencing triggers or anything like that and you are confused, you know, all of that stuff, you know. I know how important it is when you are experiencing these confusing things. You know, I know that part of the worry is feeling alone in them, not feeling validated, because you're thinking to yourself, well, you know, I just had an emotional flashback. I didn't see anything, so it must not be that bad. Or, you know, all the stuff that you tell yourself, you know, about what happened, you know, you are invalidating yourself. And that's kind of a part of trauma and a response to that sometimes. And I know how hard it is to feel valid and to feel safe and to feel like you're not alone in what you're going through. And, you know, so having a community, having people that can somewhat understand what you're going through, or maybe guide you to help you figure out what it is you are going through. I know how important that can be. So if you think that might help you, I would encourage it 100% if you think that would work for you. I also want to send out a message to all of you. You are not alone. You are valid. You are worthy. I am here. I am living proof that you can be okay. Even though I'm not okay most of the time, overall, I am okay. I am trying and I am here. And there are many times where I didn't want to be, where it was exhausting and tiring, but I'm here. And it's important to find help, find a community, and know that you're not alone, that you're loved, that you're valid, that you're worthy. And if you have people in your life, or if everyone in your life doesn't respect you, your triggers, your pronouns, your sexuality, if they don't accept you, if they don't validate you, if they don't respect you, know that here, right here in this space that we are currently sharing online, that I feel you, and I respect you, and I am validating you. You are valid. Your sexuality is valid. Your pronouns are valid. Your trauma is, of course, validated. Your feelings are valid. Your thoughts are valid. You are valid. You are worthy. And you can get through this. We will get through this together. Okay? We will. I know it's hard. And it is very tough and tiring and exhausting, and you wish you didn't have to be strong. You wish you didn't have to experience this. I know all of those feelings. But we will get through this. You will get through this. Okay? I'm here for you. Okay?